Okay, so here we are. There's Coco. She's been out of the nest box a lot today. She might be getting ready to give up. She threw out one egg today, and I checked it, and it was rotten and old and icky. And it had not ever had a fetus in it, so there's no indication there was any living thing ever in there. So I don't know, we'll see. She might be getting ready to give up, or maybe not. I don't know. I pretend to know nothing anymore. So with these late layers and late sitters, like with Hyacinth, I was giving these guys calcium. I gave Coco calcium the whole time she was laying eggs, all 8 of them, because on the first egg it was too soft and she got egg bound. So, now the guy that turned me on to the calcium said it made the males sterile. I'm like, calcium does not make males sterile. I don't believe it for a second, but I suspect what the calcium does. Okay, so let me back up a little bit here. Hormones are the things that make the females start laying eggs and stop laying eggs. But there are things that trigger the hormones, moving them into place. So it has occurred to me that perhaps a high blood calcium content plus the nest box in a male makes the female lay. And when her blood content gets low on calcium from laying eggs, she stops. So that would trigger the hormone to make her stop forming eggs. So maybe I'm screwing up their mating pattern by giving them calcium while they're laying eggs, because their blood calcium content doesn't ever deplete, so that's why they laid so many eggs. And why it took them so long to get around to sitting on those eggs, because maybe the blood calcium content being low is what triggers them to stop laying and sit. So either way, what I'm going to do is, moving forward, I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen with these two. We have no chicks yet. She's still sitting on eggs, but she's coming out a lot. Like I said, she threw one out, and I opened it because I'm looking to see if there's actually any fertility going on there. And nothing was happening with that. Okay, so we'll wait and see. Hyacinth, I'm going to check in a little bit to see if that 4th egg hatched today, but she's doing great. Matilda, again, with that massive excessive egg laying, I suspect that that would be because I gave Matilda some calcium too, because she didn't seem like at first she was eating any calcium. So I have brought in Neon and Angel. Angel is my only normal parakeet, and Neon's a half and half. They were my first parakeets. They're a bonded pair. Neon's about 4 years old now. And this will be their 3rd batch of babies. And Angel's about 3 years old. I had him for a year first. And then I brought back Fluffy and Sprite after a respite. There's Fluffy and, there's Fluffy and Sprite is right there. I'm going to give them a completely different nest box. That's the other thing. I wonder if Fluffy threw the eggs out and quit sitting, because I did not give her calcium when she was laying eggs. But when she was all done laying, I thought, well, I'll give her a little calcium, kind of up her up. So I think I'm just doing too much with the calcium thing. And it caused her hormones to shift when her blood calcium went up and she got off the eggs. So I got to watch out what I do with this calcium stuff. So I'm going to give them another chance. They're in a different cage. I'm going to give them a different box and let them start over again. Here's Hedwig and Verde back again. I had terrible problems with Hedwig because she didn't use any of the calcium sources I gave her, and she actually collapsed, or helped collapse, in the middle of raising her last brood. So this time, the happy news is she likes her soft food that I put yellow egg food in, and it has lots of calcium in it. So she's got a calcium source that she will utilize now. There's Rainbow and Aqua, who last time I brought them in here just didn't really do anything. And again, I may have dosed them with calcium a time or two. Maybe that's why they never got to the point where they sat. And here's good old Frost, who's been rejected by various and sundry girls. And here is Cinnamon. Cinnamon has rejected multiple males. I'm just having a terrible time with these two. Here's the thing. They both came from the same place. They lived together for the entire first year of their life. And Cinnamon always wants to be with a guy that was in her original group. I got 6 or 7 of them all together. Well, she and Frost came from the original group together. So hopefully she will decide that he's a workable mate for her. And then my last one over here is Little Miss Breezy. She's a Spangle, single factor Spangle, but she's got this wash over her where she's got a lot of blue in her feathers, even though she's already molted 2 times. She's about 10 months old. And I'm wondering if it is a violet factor that she's carrying that you can't really see on green birds, or if she's perhaps a golden face. So I really want to breed her to a white-based male. But, of course, while they were out there in the cage, she decided that Bubba was the one for her, who is a big green guy. Now, they would make a great pair and have some lovely babies. Bubba's only 6 months old, so they'd have to wait for another 3 months. But I thought I'd give it a try, sticking her with Gray. Because the other thing is that Little Miss Breezy here has solid black eyes. She never got an iris. And that's supposed to be an indication of being crossed up with recessive pied. And Gray has the single spot on the back of his head that is also supposed to be an indication of being crossed up with recessive pied. So if I could get her to accept him and see what happens, that might be real interesting. So she's in here alone right now. Bubba and his brother Razzle are inside getting treated for a possible case of beak mites. So she hasn't heard from him in a few days. And I'm going to leave her out here with all these breeding pairs, give her a nest box, and then I'll throw Gray at her in about a week and see if she decides she's okay. Like I said, if not, I'm okay with her breeding with Bubba too, but it would be cool. And then I wouldn't have to wait, because she's ready to breed. She's 10 months old, and she's been ready to breed for, months now. But Bubba's only 6 months old. I'm sure he would breed with her if I gave him the chance, but I just hate to put that kind of strain on a bird that's still growing. Hasn't even gotten through his 9-month molt yet. So that is the update in the breeding cage. We'll keep you posted.